All right, so let's just review ES, crude, and gold. So ES is just doing nothing other than playing this range. And right here you have 4080 support and 4188. So 4080 to 4189-ish is resistance. All right, so just playing in this range right now. And if it does go down, you have a lot of this level here, 40, 80, 75 was tagged twice, and so it's serving as support. All right, it's serving as support, and you have this upthrust here and a spring here and all of that going on. So even though I think this low is taken, let me see, 4112.25. Holy shit, this is a spring. Oh, okay. So that means that this is actually a change of behavior. It's end of day, but there it is. There's a change of behavior. Because one of the things that most of the Wyckoff traders understand when they know about change of behaviors is that change of behaviors typically come from one of two conditions. Change of behavior come from the springs and upthrusts. That's one. Usually, not all the time, right? But usually it gives a lot of validity to the change of behavior when it does that. A lot of validity, right? Because it means that higher prices were rejected if there was an upthrust, or lower prices were rejected if there was a spring. It's also why David Weiss, who was a very well-known trader, focused on springs and upthrust. It wasn't just a favorite setup. It was a sequence. You had the market go into a spring, then you had a change of behavior, or you had the market go into upthrust, and then you had a change of behavior. So it's part of his trade execution. All right, so that's why springs and upthrusts are important. Before I didn't understand this, but like over time it became obvious. Like right here, this is a clear example of the market taking out which low, the 4112.25. It took it out with 4111.75, and when it did that, look at the buying that came in. The biggest wave in 21 waves, followed by the smallest wave in the last 4 waves, which did what? Set up the springboard and set up this change of behavior. So market will pull back, probably uptrend, and we'll see where it goes. But that's the idea, folks. All right. So just give a really important fact if you're a Wyckoff trader. All right. So let's just give another example of crude and what happened. First, I want to also mention that with springboards, right? The springboard, it can set up small markup or big markup, right? We don't know what's going to set up, but the probabilities are far higher that it's a good markup with a good reward if it is with trend from a key level. All right, it much higher, much higher probability. If it's counter trend, it's not going to be good. I'll give an example of that right here. This right here was a change of behavior. Right here, biggest in 36 waves. Pulls back, smallest in last 7 waves. You got the markup bar right there, but it just goes up here and gets stuffed. Why? A 5-minute springboard is not stronger than a daily trend. Again, 5-minute springboard is a weaker factor than a daily trend. The daily trend will override the 5-minute springboard. Okay, and that's what happened here. Otherwise, if this was on a key level in an uptrend, this thing would fly. It would have probably a much higher probability of flying, right? Again, you see, makes the range. Here you have the spring. Where's the spring? The spring is right there. From that spring comes the change of behavior. Right there's the last, the lack of supply right there, and markup is initiated, and it goes up here. When it goes here, this was the distribution. That distribution, if you look very closely, what do you see? up thrust right there. From the up thrust, you have a change of behavior, right? From the up thrust, you have a change of behavior, which validates that price cannot go higher. All right, so that validates it. So, and also what validates it is the distribution before it, right? So you have that distribution, chop, 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 chop. Then you have the up thrust, and from the up thrust, you have the change of behavior, and it continues. And it's just fucking around over here, but I want to make it very clear that, when Wyckoff said all about, trading and this and that, he just said, what do you want to trade? You want to trade springboards. So as Wyckoff traders, you should be focusing on springboards. And I can tell you from my videos and all of this that the springboard is your turning point. It is when you have strength plus weakness. Strength in demand plus weakness in supply will set up a bullish springboard. The strength in demand can be measured. It can be measured by the size of the wave and the volume on the wave. And the weakness of the supply can be measured by the lack of, or how small the wave is, or how little the volume is. And when you put that together, you will create direction. That is direction. What creates direction? Strength plus weakness. Strength in supply, weakness demand, and vice versa. Right. So anyway, where am I? So far crude, I'm looking at this 68.53 target to get tagged. I don't see any bullish change of behavior, so there's no reason to really worry about any of this, right? There's no reason. Actually, on the ES, there's a change of behavior, but not here. Okay, so let's see how low it goes. And so this was the springboard. Change of behavior from an up thrust, bang. Change of behavior from a spring, tap, bang. There it is also, the change of behavior, springboard, rally. I don't know, is it all over the place here? This one was a good one. This one was here, you had change of behavior, and this one had a up thrust. And then up thrust was after the change of behavior, and then it had springboard, and then it initiated the downtrend. How I know is, I know because I'm judging based on the size of the wave and all that. I have that all set up. Okay, so final market will. All right, so this market you have to be especially careful with. All right, because a lot of folks are being lured into shorting gold. I mean, I know in the daily it's on new highs, whatever, but the short-term traders are being lured into shorting gold. Right now, you have to see what happens, because it was going to that daily level, and these guys, look at what came in. Look at that. You see that? That came in. So it's going towards that level. Boom. Biggest volume in over 100 bricks at support. Not breaking it. Alright? So you just gotta chill out right now, because if I'm right about that, that's, they're buying on the way down. So possibly. So now you got, the short-term traders who are looking to sell the zone and this and that right here, tap, tap. You give a lot of trades. You give a lot of trades. See, this rally came back, got to sell. This rally came back all the way back here, setting up to sell. This rally came back, beautiful sell again. This rally, it doesn't come back, but it gives the sell against this area, right? Against this breakdown area. Looks like a breakdown area. And that gave this move down. But if I'm right about this, something's something's about to change, right? So these distribution bricks, tap, tap. I mean, imagine one trade, boom, two trade, three trade, right? So giving really nice opportunities here. And so let's take a look at the springboard. So from the daily over here, you have the biggest in 18 waves, followed by the smallest in 4 waves. Right there. Sets up the springboard rally. But it's not just that, it's also because of this level. Like, I'm waiting for it to come to near this level. So that's why. Otherwise, if it's just actually these are working also, but unless there's a level there, I don't touch it. And there was a level here, so this was the selling that set up the down move. Some more selling, and finally this thing comes in. Alright, that's all, folks. So for gold, we want to be real careful now and see if things change. I'm not going to do anything until it rallies and then sets up pullbacks. Not on the lower time frame, but on the middle time frame or a Renko. All right, thank you. Bye.